Yes. Event agenda for today. We'll have our welcome address, housekeeping and code of conduct. I did that already. Our keynote speaker will come up shortly after I run down this event agenda. Then we'll have Ada giving us a talk on advancing your career with open source. We have a Kahoot game. Yeah, who doesn't love games? I do, I love games. So we have a group picture as well. Then we'll go into another talk by Lade, how to grow your career as a tech lady. We'll have Reframing Your Narrative by lovely Heather. We have another Kahoot session, then a group picture again before we'll go for a breakout session by Mercy and Georgia. We'll have a Q&A and then closing remark. So we'll start with the keynote session. Is Rachel here? Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Motoraya.
Hi.
Okay.
So please take it away.
Okay, hi. Can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Motoraya, I'm going to share a link with you. Kindly update so that people can access the YouTube live. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's really amazing having you all here. We've been planning for this since March. No, we started planning since February, and it's really exciting to have everyone here. So for today, we have you all here to celebrate everything you've done, everything you would do. Today is just about celebrating you. It's about everything you can do more within the following years. Last year was a pretty difficult year, which everyone had, but every single woman has done her best to do better, to push forward and give her light, shine her light even in the trying times. A lot of women suffered more during the pandemic due to either losing their job or losing someone in their family, even going through the whole pandemic, having COVID, having to care for family and all of their friends. All of that takes courage, which is why we know that everyone on this call today, everyone in this session today is a courageous woman. And you can create more, you can be more, you can do more. And every single person on this call is here to cheer you on. So thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of sessions prepared for you, and we know for a fact that you will do more after this. We know for a fact that you can be more. We know for a fact that you can celebrate another sister, you can celebrate another person around you, you can celebrate your friends, your family, you can celebrate every single person. One final thing would be that leave this session today with knowing that you have an army of people, an army of friends and family, an army of everyone on this call supporting you, able and ready to give you all the support you need to advance in your career, to advance in school, to do better at everything you need to do. So thank you so much for joining us today. We have people from Google, we have people from Microsoft who would be on this call. We have people from the community. We have someone from Tanzania who is also a regional lead for East Africa. All of these ladies have prepared to come and give you an amazing session today. And I am sure I am going to learn so much from it. And I'm sure you will also learn a lot from it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Motorayo. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. If I did not hear anything else, I heard that I have an army of ladies behind me, and they are always there and ready to help, to pull my hand when I feel tired, when I feel discouraged, and When I need someone to talk to, I can always reach out to everyone on this group and even people that are still going to join. It's exciting. Thank you very much, Rachel, for that reassurance. We really appreciate your effort, your time, and the love you give to all of us here. Thank you very much. So we have Ada here. Hi, Ada. Welcome. Is Ada here?
Hi, Moturaya. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. And you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, welcome. We are excited. We are happy to have you here. Thank you for joining and thank you for the love and support as well. Let me give you double thumbs up for that. Thank you. So we'll go straight into your session, Ada. That's advancing your career with open source. So are you ready, Ada? Are you ready for us? I'm sure you're always ready. Why did I even ask? You're always ready
Yes,
for us.
give me a few minutes to set up my slides and also present my screen.
Okay, great, great. So please, ladies, don't forget our hashtag for today's hashtag courage to create, hashtag WTM9JA Niger, hashtag IWD. Please post on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere with these hashtags and let the world know what we are doing here today. Let the world know that we are celebrating each other. We are ready to hold each other's hands to move forward in every area we are succeeding in. Thank you. I look forward to reading your tweets and your posts on all social media platforms.
Hi, Moturaya. So I can't seem to share my screen for now.
Okay. Okay. We have Heather. Heather, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Are you ready for your session?
I am, yeah, I can do it, but I think it's the same issue with sharing screens is maybe if you as host are able to like upgrade our status to be able to share our screen, that might be it.
All right. Just give me a few seconds. Let me work on that. Okay, please check. I think you just made host.
I think it's this, it just says whenever I click on screen share, host disabled attendee screen sharing. I don't know, Ada, did it update for you? Or maybe I should drop out and join again. Would that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
I'll try that.
I still can't share, but I think Heather can share hers now. So Heather, you can go.
Oh yeah, I see that now. Perfect. Cool. Well, then I'll dive straight in. Let me just make sure you can see my slides. They should be coming up. And I'll put them into present mode. And if someone can just say, yes, I can see these.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me today. I just feel so much joy and encouragement already from this community, and it's a real privilege to talk to you a little bit about framing our narrative and talking about our achievements and accomplishments as women. And so I think I already mentioned, so I'm Heather. I am a marketing manager at Google, and I'm responsible for developer training and certification marketing in Google Cloud. And so today's workshop, we have about 25 minutes, I think. I'm really wanting to have your participation as you start to think about your own strengths, skills, and experiences, and really the things that make you uniquely you. And so hopefully by the end of this session, you'll have a first draft on a bio. And for some folks, a professional bio, you might have one already, but it's always good to revisit and have a look again and see if there's things you can update and refresh, and to use that bio and things like your LinkedIn profile, or if you have a website, or for a cover letter, if you're looking for a job opportunity. So hopefully it's fun. It's meant to be participatory. And yeah, we can use the chat a little bit, hopefully as well, because I would love your participation. So today's workshop has been crafted by Write Speak Code, which was founded in 2013. And it's really a safe space for professional women, non-binary and trans technologists who want to explore their leadership through writing blogs and books, speaking at conferences, contributing to open source projects, which I think is something Ada's going to talk about in a little bit. And then Women Tech Makers, obviously you're all super familiar with Women Tech Makers. We've partnered with Write Speak Code to present this workshop because we are organizations committed to fostering visibility, community, and developing resources for individuals who come from backgrounds who are traditionally underrepresented in the tech space. So I'm super excited to be here today and have this opportunity. And so the primary goal, really what we're focused on, is getting comfortable, talking about ourselves, our expertise, and telling your story through writing a professional bio. So that's really the goal. And just to warm us up and to get us in this frame of mind, I want to spend a little bit of time and ask you to start to write out some of your accomplishments. Now, they could be professional accomplishments, or they could be personal accomplishments that you have. But it's a great way to increase our confidence when we start to articulate and to write out and to think about some of our own accomplishments. And actually this will come in handy when we come to writing the bio. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and you can either type this if you're at a computer, a laptop, or if you prefer to write it out with the old pen and paper, that's good too. But I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to get started on writing out some of your accomplishments, professional and personal accomplishments, the things that you're proud of. So over to you to have a think about some of those accomplishments. And sometimes there's that voice inside that's saying, oh, is this an accomplishment or is it not? I would just encourage you to push through and write those things down anyway. The things that come to mind that you're proud of and that you've achieved, I think just great to write those things down and overcome that kind of inner voice sometimes that can be, we're sometimes a little self-critical. But yeah, just push through. I'll give you 1 more minute. Okay. So hopefully for some folks, it's good just getting in the way of it, of thinking about our accomplishments. Anybody brave enough to ping some of those accomplishments into the chat? That'd be awesome. I think I just have to come out of this present mode so I can actually see the chat too. Where are we? No. Huh. Any, for some reason I can't see the chat. So anyone feel free to come off mute and share maybe one or two of your accomplishments. Anyone brave enough to kick us off? No? Oh no, I need to.
I think I'll go first.
Yeah. Is that Io? Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for bringing the joy. I'm being bold and confident.
Okay, I'll just mention a few of
Yes.
my accomplishments. And first, I am always this shy person. I don't like standing in front of people to talk about what I've done or what I'm about to do, what I've been struggling with. But I've gone past that lately, and it feels very good, feels refreshing that I can express myself out there. I can talk to people and they actually understand what I'm saying and they listen to me. Feels very good. And secondly, I've been able to move past procrastination. Procrastinate a lot, and with a little bit of help here and there, I've been able to move past that level, and I'm doing a little bit of background work. So watch out for me. Something good is coming soon.
Yes, I love that. I love also, first of all, just overcoming that kind of shyness. You have hosted this meeting with so much confidence and joy from the start, welcoming everybody in. So kudos to you, real strength. And I see that you've overcome that to lead us today. And yeah, procrastination is another one, right? It's a tough one to overcome. So it's great that you can see your strength and see you're progressing in that space too. So thank you, Io, for sharing and for being the first one. I know it's hard. Any other folks feeling brave to come off mute and share?
Hi, yes, I think I would want to share.
Awesome.
My name is Farida, and I'll share two of the accomplishments that I recently accomplished. One is I won a custody battle, over a year of custody battle in courts, and I eventually got the primary custody of my child. That's one. Two, I recently joined the World Bank Group as a digital development specialist, more or less a quality assurance engineer for the Nigerian biometric system. So those are the two accomplishments that of recent that I kind of accomplished.
They are incredible. Gosh, congratulations on the custody for your children. That is huge, and such a personal one to share. So thank you. And how impressive as well. Sorry, you're working at the World Bank. That's incredible. So clearly a group of incredibly accomplished women. And sometimes I think it's just about having that confidence to share, right? And sometimes it takes a little bit, oh, now I found the chat. It takes a little bit to kind of overcome that initial shyness and actually to share some of our accomplishments. I see Catherine as well. This is awesome, to be a volunteer, to learn JavaScript and complete my service year as well. Catherine, that is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing. This is really great. I'm gonna, can I minimize this? I'm gonna minimize this for now. I can come back to it. I'm not used to working with Zoom, so apologies, I'm a little slow, but I will go back to presenting my slides, and thank you to everybody for sharing and for getting into the way of it. I want to talk a little bit now about what gives somebody credibility, right? So, and by credibility, what do we mean by that? And really there's three factors when you're building credibility and being trusted in a particular space. It's a combination of your knowledge, so what you know, as well as your experience, so the things you've done and who you know, your kind of network as well. And then the third element that makes up that credibility and trust is what we call like the shiny bauble. So if you think of like decorating a tree, those shiny baubles really attract you and catch your attention. And really those are the things that are impressive and kind of unique to you. So these are the three elements that we say kind of make up that credibility. It's what you know, it's your experience, and then it's your shiny baubles. And so we're gonna again just have a think about what our shiny baubles is as well. So we're gonna dig into our knowledge and experience in just a minute. But I'd love you to think again about and it might be that some of the accomplishments that you wrote out already kind of fall into this shiny bauble. And it could be, you know, results on projects that you've worked on. It could be awards and recognition and honors maybe that you've received. Perhaps, you know, it's press coverage or education or training that you've completed or done. So I want you to take a minute again, just to think about and write out some of those for you as an individual, some of the things that are make you uniquely you as well, your shiny baubles, the things that attract people to you, or yeah, that attract people to you and make you stand out. So have a think about those as well. Alrighty. So who wants to, maybe let's use the chat for any folks who want to ping in. They can put in one, they can put in a few of their shiny baubles, the things that they know uniquely they've done and achieved. So let's use the chat. I've realized how to open it up while screen sharing. I can share one of mine. I completed my Oxford University digital marketing certificate online last year. So that felt like a shiny bauble, and some training and education that I completed. Any other folks? Use the chat if you can, or if you want to come off mute. Gosh, such a quiet group. Oh my gosh, Salesforce admin certification, IO. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love the training on Salesforce. I'm a big fan. I use it all the time in my marketing role. So that is awesome. And also that you got the certification. Did you completed the certification training? Did you get the actual certification as well?
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. I love the certified people. And there's Blessing has graduated with a first class. and started her own community of women in tech. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, blessing. Okay, this is great. Any others feeling confident? Oh, wow. Okay, an MBA and a certification in International Finance Corporation. Wow. Farida, is that how I say that? Farida, that is very impressive. So many shiny bubbles in this group. Awesome. Well, thank you for paying those in. Thank you for using the chat. Oh, here's another one from Ruthie. Here we go. A tech lover, resides in northern Nigeria, and is attractive in this part of exactly, a student of computer science, as a national VP. Oh, wow. So hang on, as a student of computer science, emerged as the national vice president. That's amazing. Oh, gosh. Okay, this is like a seriously impressive group. Thank you, Ruthie, for sharing. Thank you, everyone. This is really great. Wow. Okay. Where to go from here? Such impressive. Let me start by minimizing the chat. And let's get to it. So we're in the swing of it. We're sharing. We're sharing our accomplishments with one another. We're celebrating our accomplishments. We're bringing them to mind, right? We're reflecting on the things that we do, that we've done and that we've achieved. And now we want to get down to actually writing our bio, and what will we include when we're talking about our bio. And typically, you know, a professional bio is like a paragraph. It's 3 to 4 sentences long. And the things that you'd want to include as a part of it would be the roles that you've had, you know, in any jobs, or if you're still in school or college, you know, any extracurricular responsibilities that you've taken on, the skills, so both the hard skills that you have, technical skills that you have, as well as any soft skills that you have, and leadership and stakeholder management. Then your strengths as well. So the things that you know, communication is my thing, or like you would have basically really having a sense of your strengths as well, and how you can communicate that in that kind of paragraph of your bio. Then the experiences that you've had. So perhaps you've, worked in different companies, or you've had internships, or you've just had different experiences, maybe opportunities to travel or to go to different places or to speak at conferences. And then the final thing is actually the values. So the things that you really hold dear is another really critical element that shapes your bio, and you want to make sure that comes across, because it helps sort of represent you as well. So as we think about each of these elements that make up your bio, so the roles that you've had, the skills, the strengths, the experiences, and the values, again, there's just a quick fire. Want you to write down, any of the roles that you've taken on. So maybe you've been a tech lead on a project, perhaps you've been a facilitator like IO today, you've been the host for our session, or you've been a project manager or a designer or a developer in a project. So just quickly not quickly, but like take a minute to write down or to type up the different roles that you've had and that you in your experience, whether that be in professional or personal things that you're involved with as well. Don't just limit it to the workplace as well, if you're involved with other things too. So that's the roles. Maybe you're a coach or a mentor, an educator, all those different roles that you can assume day to day in a team, an organization, or a project. And then the next thing we want to think about is the skills that you have. So what you know, what you've, and I already know because you've sort of pinged in, we've got Salesforce admin skills, we've got MBA skills, so kind of general business skills, understanding. So it might be like super technical skills that you have, so languages you're competent in. It could be frameworks that you use, tools that you're familiar with, or the documentation that you either build and develop out as well, testing, project management. So have a think about your skills as well. And while I do that, a quick time check for me, because I know I had about 25 minutes, but how long roughly? Awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. Amadikwa, Joy, is that how I say that?
Yes.
Awesome. Able to land an opportunity to work data science Nigeria as a data analyst is my first job. That is incredible. And then leading a group of techies for the community. This is so great. Wow. Memunat Manzuma, founder of Women for Tech, mentor for Women Tech Makers, SSA, and also an ambassador for Women Tech Makers, Nina, community builder, lover cloud computing, yay! Love another cloud computing fan, and build project on PHP, work for state government in information communication technology. Oh, thank you so much, Memunat. That's amazing. Awesome stuff. Wow, I'm really inspired by this group. This is really great. So yeah, so we've thought a little bit about our roles, we've thought about our skills, and then as we come to consider our strengths, so the things that we know that we do really well when we show up every day, it's the things that other people often like call out and compliment you on. So what are the things that this is my strength, this is what I do really, really well? You might be a timekeeper, you might be a great facilitator or leader. You might be good at like aligning when there's lots of different points of view and you're trying to bring them all together. You might be someone who's great at like bug fixing, problem solving, getting to those technical solutions. Have to think about your strengths as well. And again, just type those up or write those out. This all really becomes then the magic that you then get to write up in your bio. Just check the chat again. Look at this, skilled in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Amadikwa, JavaScript, PHP, MySQL, Tableau, building my skills on React.js. Okay, gosh, you've got all the coding skills. This is incredible. So many languages. Brilliant. Comment from YouTube. Started practical training in regard to automobile maintenance and acquiring a certificate in 2 weeks' time. Io, that's great. Or so hang on, this is from YouTube. This is so great.
Yeah, it's a comment from YouTube.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that in here too. Great to have folks following along as well and sharing their strengths and their skills and their roles. And then maybe just to jump to the next slide, we are thinking about our experiences. So the jobs or internships or apprenticeships that you've maybe had, maybe organizations that you're affiliated with. Obviously, a lot of you involved with women tech makers already and the different communities, but any other communities that you're maybe a part of. we've shared a lot about, you know, folks' education and certifications that they've gotten through training, as well as perhaps like projects that you've worked on, either in work or, you know, something personally, like, for example, automobile maintenance was an awesome one coming through on the YouTube stream. So list as many as you can as you're thinking about your experiences. I can think, you know, I've lots of professional experience. I was a parliamentary researcher for a bit in the UK at Westminster. I was a youth worker. I'm in a church. I worked in Accenture as a program manager and a marketing manager, sales enablement. But then I've been on the board of a couple of charities as well. So lots of things, you know, women's education, women's empowerment. I got to spend some time actually out in the East Coast, well, in Ethiopia first, and then in Kenya. So very dear to my heart in the continent of Africa, really. But I've spent most time traveling on the East, as well as in Ghana I haven't made it to Nigeria, but I think I want to go after today. So yeah, so your experiences, and then, yes, finally, thinking about your values as well, and the things that are most meaningful to you, that really matter to you in your work and in what you do. And I actually have a list of values here. Now, this isn't an exhaustive list by any means, but have a look and a read at these, and maybe some of them resonate. Maybe you say, yes, for me, like leadership and justice, honesty, like I can tell you, these are mine: honesty, family, compassion. These values really matter to me in the work that I do. And I want to make sure that anyone, you know, that reads my bio knows that about me as well, that this is what I really place a high value on. So have a look at those values. There might be ones that you know yourself, or values for you, that aren't listed here. But I'd love you to just pick out a few that really resonate. Oh, actually, I'll give you a few minutes more on that one. Wonderful. Thank you, Ayo. Helping others, community, accomplishment, loyalty, efficiency. Yes, I value efficiency a lot too as well. Get the job done. Ayo, you're going to have to give me a time check here, because I could talk for a long time and I want to make sure respect. I know we've got lots of great speakers. Have I got about 5 minutes more?
4 minutes more.
4 minutes. Okay, perfect. That's all good. Okay, so we've thought a bit about values. We've talked about our strengths and skills. We've talked about our experiences and the roles that we've had. I'm going to flip over this so we can start to get into actually doing a first draft and thinking about our first draft and writing a couple of sentences. So final tips before we start actually writing out a first draft of our professional bio is that it's always great to show and not tell. So when I say descriptive language is everything, it's basically whenever you're saying I am creative, maybe instead of just saying I am creative, you say project running a campaign where I was able to express different creative design, demonstrates that you are a creative person. So think of the ways that you can tangibly represent the qualities that you're talking about in your bio, and then use the tools that you have as well. And I think it's important just to recognize, like, there is so much talent in this group today, and it's really important that you feel that confidence to be able to write about it, to be able to share, to not if you ever default to the negative and the things that went wrong, instead think about what did you learn and how did you grow Always use data where you can to quantify the things that you're saying in your bio. And then also give credit to your personal experience as well. And that's, I'm so glad someone was sharing earlier on a little bit about, you know, personal accomplishments. Really, they matter as well, and they demonstrate the type of person that you are. So in the final couple minutes that we have, I want to just get us started. Now, this isn't going to be, you know, the final version of your bio, but this is kind of a helpful framework. So on the left of the slide, there's some kind of starter sentences. You know, I work at ... I do XYZ. I've been think of your role for X number of years. I recently did this or did that. I organized this group or that community or this project. I've built, I've led in my spare time. I'm obsessed with and have a passion for what, and the things that are unique about you as well. So I want you to maybe just, like, with the minute left that we have, start by writing out one or two of these sentences and then completing it based on some of what we've been thinking about and sharing today. And on the right side as well, there's some helpful kind of descriptive and action verbs that you can also use as well as you're just trying to form those sentences too. And feel free, like, to take a screenshot of this if you want. That's helpful. Because I'm leaving you with some homework. And I just want to say what a great job and how, like, wonderful it's been to start this today, and for all of the sharing that you've done, all of the reflecting, all of the writing. You've taken the first step. And so it's hard, like, it's hard writing our accomplishments and trying to summarize ourselves. But you've done that today. And so, yeah, just kudos to all of you for doing that, and for showing up. And I think next steps is really just take what you've started today, give yourself, like, you know, 10, 15 minutes later in the day to just write that down, and maybe you can update it on your Twitter or website or LinkedIn. I would love to see that. I'd love to see what you come up with as well. But that's been me. You've been wonderful, reflecting on your accomplishments, sharing some of your shiny baubles, thinking about your roles and skills and strengths and experiences, and hopefully started at least a couple of sentences of your first bio or an updated bio as well. So that's me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. Definitely find me. I'm an Instagrammer and Twitter and on LinkedIn as well. So yeah, I'd love to connect with you. So thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, Heather. We really appreciate opening up our eyes to things we've accomplished, things that we have power to do, and how to tell our stories out there. It's very important how to tell people about what you've done and what you are up to. Thank you very much for teaching me that. And I didn't really know that I had little things under my sleeves already, up until when I tried to mention it to everyone. So thank you very much. I learned a lot from the session. So we'll go very fast and straight to Ada. Ada, are you ready for us now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, please take it away.
All right. Allow me to share my screen. Hi, everyone.
Oh, hi.
I think someone is still sharing. Okay, so let me try sharing my screen again. Okay. Give me minutes. All right. Please let me know if everyone can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so let me go into presenter mode. All right. Thank you, everyone, for having me. Thank you to all the WTM ambassadors in Nigeria who have taken out time to organize all of this. I'm really excited to give my talk. I'm also really excited about today's event because this is the very first. But I'm going to focus on helping participants in this call advance your career through open source contribution. I'll be throwing more light on what open source is, how you can make contributions, different ways that you can push out your careers out there through open source in tech. Now, here's a few things about me. I'm currently community manager for the Google Developer Groups and the Women Tech Makers program here in Sub-Saharan Africa. So behind the scenes, I get to work with all the amazing ambassadors here in Nigeria and also across other SSA countries, that's Sub-Saharan countries. I'm also co-founder of Open Source Community Africa. Open Source Community Africa is one of the largest open source communities here within the African continent, and our goal is to make sure that we're spotlighting and bringing more credible contributions from Africans within Africa and also outside Africa as well. Some of you also know me as the founder of She Code Africa. Aside all of these things, I am a huge advocate for women in tech. I am a huge advocate for advancing careers for women in technology. So I do everything I can, both within Google and also within my nonprofit as She Code Africa. And on the side, I do some bits of technical writing and podcasting as well. The podcasting is like on and off. And for fun, I'm also a TikToker, ex-TikToker, previous, I don't know, but yeah, I'm also a TikToker. So yeah, so down to my talk for today. First of all, what is open source? Even though there are some people on this call who would already have an idea of what open source is about, but I would still like to give a very brief intro as to what open source is, how people conceive open source, or what different perspectives there are to open source. So basically, open source is a software concept. A lot of people don't know this, but it's not that intricate. It's not a delicate conversation. It's not a delicate field. It's not a hard field per se. It's really just a concept that allows you to make changes to source code or to a product or to a tool, make changes or also produce these tools and make them freely accessible. Now, if you're contributing to open source, you have the ability to make changes to existing tools, make changes to existing libraries, software libraries, tools, products, and things like that. And also, open source as a concept is one that allows you to distribute freely. You see some tools that you are able to access. There are some products that you're able to access for free. And sometimes you wonder, like, why is it that I'm able to access this thing for free? A lot of times, most of these products are created as open source products. That's why you're able to access them for free. Now, distribute freely encompasses a lot of words. It also encompasses the act of sharing, rewriting. So rewriting in the sense that you can alter, you can change, you can make changes basically and share. Nobody's going to say, oh, you're infringing on any legal rights or IP and things like that. Now, why open source? So people would ask like, okay, what's the essence of open source if I'm not going to make money from it? Or what's the essence of open source if I'm contributing directly and there's no impact whatsoever? How does open source impact my career in any way? Now, this is a very free, a very short-lined intro or explanation to what this is about. Now, why would I want to create a free tool to put it out there? But it's because of the impact, right? Open source has helped create tools. Open source has helped create really different platforms, different products that many of us are able to access freely. Some of us owe our growth in the industry, some of us owe our growth in the field to being able to access some of these tools. Take, for example, the Linux kernel. The Linux kernel is, I, for one, used it a lot while starting out in tech. People know about the LibreOffice. It's like an it's like a subversion of Microsoft Office, a free version. You don't have to pay for it and things like that, Word and all of that. And so yeah, you get free access to some of the best tools, some of the best texts and tools like that. So open source really is, I cannot overemphasize on the importance of this thing, of this field, the importance of it to contribution and things like that. So I'm just going to be real fast. Please give me a minute. All right. So now, what are the benefits of open source contribution? Like, you can ask yourself, sorry, please give me. Sorry about that. Please give me a minute to reshare my screen. Someone was on my door, so I had to go and open the door. All right, so I'm going to continue from where I stopped. Okay, so back to what I was saying regarding benefits of open source contribution. Why should I contribute to open source? What are the essence? How is it going to help my career in any way? Is it not just excess work for me? I mean, I'm already doing something in tech, say 9 to 5. Why should I take out more of my time to contribute to something that is not going to be of impact to me in my career? But I'm just going to list very few benefits. This isn't like everything, it's just very few of it, and what I would classify as very, very important when you're contributing to open source. Some of the things that you get to gain from contributing. The first one that I cannot overemphasize is the approach to learning. It gives you a very practical approach to learning. Say, for example, you're still a newbie and you're trying to understand the concepts. And by newbie, I don't mean somebody who just started tech, say, yesterday or a month ago. Say you've been in it for a few months, you're trying to understand concepts, you are really just going through a loop of tutorials and tutorials and tutorials. And you're scared of building projects because first off, you're building on your own, or secondly, there really isn't anyone to help you review. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Contributing to open source breaks that barrier or acts as that intermediary for you to move from one stage of growth to the other. So contributing to open source gives you that practical approach to learning in the sense that you're constantly building. You're working on either existing projects. Most times, 80% of the time, it's existing projects. 20% of the time, it's new project. Maybe that team is just, okay, we want to build a new feature, we want to build a new project, and we need you to build so and so feature on it. We need to do X, Y, Z on it. But it's practical because you're literally learning on the go. And another beautiful thing is that you get people who review your project. You get people who have been in the field for a long time, people who are like at expert level. You get them to look at what you're doing and tell you if you're doing good or not. And you're growing really because there's nothing that beats practicing in general. And then, okay, like I said, so building or contributing on the go, practical approach in the sense that you're building or you're contributing on the go. Now, building and contributing can be two different things when it comes to open source, but in general, they're all contributions to open source because you're contributing to that concept, you're contributing to the ideology of open source. But you're either building in the sense that you're either starting your own project, you're building your own project, you're creating your own project, or you're contributing to an already existing project. It could be yours, maybe something that you already did way back and then you're coming back to it, or something that someone else has been building and you want to help them contribute to it. And another thing is that by practical approach to learning, it gives you're constantly iterating from public feedback. Because it is open source, a lot of people have access to it. They can see what you're building, they can see where you're making mistakes. It's not hush hush where, oh, okay, I'm just going to watch this person do this thing. Whether they're doing wrong or right, I don't care because I don't have any right to say anything. It's not my project whatsoever. But because it's open source, you have put your project in public and say, it's more like indirectly saying, hey, this is what I'm building. Come and tell me if I'm doing something good or bad, because generally you need feedback from the public because it is the public that is going to digest that thing that you're building. So you need them to tell you if what you're doing is good or what you're doing is bad. You need them to encourage you basically. So when you have people give you feedback, positive feedback, remember, because it's the public, you cannot control all the type of feedback that they give you. So try to focus on the positive feedback, try to focus on the constructive feedback. So you're getting iteration and you're growing, and there's nothing as amazing as feedback. Just take it from somebody who's been in the industry for a very long time. There's nothing as amazing as feedback. When you get that feedback for a very long time, you get to understand that as you're getting feedback, you're growing. Somebody's telling you, you want to build letter A. Somebody's telling you, put the line, slant it like this. Okay, slant another one like this while you're trying to do it like this. And then you do it like this. You're growing because you're learning that this is how it's meant to be. And then across and things like that. Now, another benefit is you get bigger platforms to access, interact, or network with top tech talents. And trust me when I mean this, because open source is, I wouldn't want to call it a bubble, but it's a very large field. It's very diverse. People from different walks of life, people from different fields in tech, people from different backgrounds and things like that all come together and say, oh yeah, they have one thing in common. Aside the fact that, oh yes, they're already in tech, they also have one thing in common, the ideology of open source, in the sense that they want to build things that would impact people, things that would impact humans as well. And they want to use the experience. So say, I'm going to use another newbie as another example, somebody who is just starting out in tech. You get to contribute to a project where you're lucky enough to contribute to a project where you have people who've been in the industry for 14 years, people who've been in fields, who've been jumping from one fan company to the other. Maybe they've been Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and things like that. Because you all have one thing that is bringing everybody in common, and you would naturally not get this kind of experience when you're just being in your own bubble and saying, oh, you want to go into tech, you want to just learn and get a 9 to 5 and then that's the end. No, because everybody should know this. If you want to scale in any field, not just in the tech industry, literally, and if you want to scale in life, you have to learn how to build your network. And open source in tech helps you do that as well. And another thing is that it helps you work and build your portfolio with top companies. The same way people emphasize or amplify on how volunteering is amazing. Volunteering is a good thing to do. You need to volunteer so that not just to because you're trying to create more social impact, but because you're trying to build your own skills to get you ready for when you finally get that amazing job that you want. It's the same thing with open source, because basically you're volunteering, but this time you're volunteering technical skills, you're volunteering technical knowledge. So imagine building, say you're a software developer, and you know companies out there are looking for developers with diverse experience, diverse skills, but you're out here building or contributing to projects on open source in different fields, or say in specific fields that you want to go fully into. By the time you collate all those things, all those projects, all those experience, and put it in your CV, it's already enough to amp you up and put you a step higher. Let me give you another secret. A lot of companies value employees that take out time to do other things in terms of volunteering outside their 9 to 5. It shows that, oh yeah, even without any commitment, you're willing to put in your time, you're willing to put in your knowledge into something. So open source contribution also gives people another edge, either when they're applying or when they're in a current position and they're trying to grow as well. Now, another thing is community-based growth, because like I mentioned earlier, public iteration and things like that, feedback, people are aware of what you're doing. They've seen you. I've seen many people. I'm a source of community-based growth, community-based feedback, and all of that. People see what you're doing. When you put it out there, oh yeah, I'm building so and so project. If you like to contribute, come and do this, or I'm contributing so and so. Just in contributing, I've been able to do this, or maybe when something new is launched by that company they're contributing to, you're able to amplify it on your end, and people are aware. They're seeing it. They're seeing that you're not just the same person that you were when you just started out in contributing. They're seeing that growth, and that's the same way it is, in the sense that, oh yes, I've seen it and it's amazing. And then you don't know what people are saying on behalf of you within at your back or in places you're not there. Because say, for example, somebody who is into Node has been contributing to Node-based projects and putting it out there. And then I'm looking for somebody who is in Node, and maybe somebody who follows that person says, oh yeah, I know so and so person. Meanwhile, you have not even interacted. I know so and so person. I always see their projects out there. They put so and so this, their GitHub they're super active in open source and things like that. So it puts you out there, it gives you leverage, it gives you an advantage. And another thing is it helps you diversify your career field. Diversify in the sense that you can be a software developer in your 9 to 5, and when you're contributing to open source, you can contribute. If you have design skills, you can contribute in product design, you can contribute in documentation. You're building skills on the two ends. Building skills in the sense, oh yeah, you're building your software development skills, you're also building your technical writing skills via documentation. So it's a win-win for you. All you just have to do is learn how to manage your time and multitask as well. Another amazing thing, like this is now my favorite part, is there are companies, there are bodies, there are organizations out there that are learning to say thank you for just contributing to open source, maybe via our platform or in general. Companies like GitHub, they give out this thing, the GitHub Star Awards. I'm sure many of you have seen people tweet about it recently, how they've been awarded GitHub Star Award because of their contributions, their valid contributions into open source. Remember, you have to make valid contributions, not just any random contributions, in the sense that you're trying to grow your open source skills. Another is an open source peer bonus program at Google. The open source peer bonus program at Google is just Google's way of saying thank you as well. Thank you for contributing to open source. Here's something to hold yourself for things like that. And then another thing is the Women in Open Source Award. I'm just giving a list of some organizations or bodies that are awarding people and saying or recognizing them for their immense efforts in open source. The Women in Open Source Award is by Red Hat. Now, what this means is that really, while you're doing something for social impact, you're also getting recognized, and it's adding to your portfolio as well. Imagine on your CV being able to write and say awards and recognitions, GitHub Star, Open Source Peer Bonus Program, things like that. It's amplifying your CV. It's helping you amplify your portfolio. It's helping you amplify your career, rather than just sticking to your 9 to 5, which might be boring or not boring, and just doing everything you're told and really not diversifying your skills. You get to be recognized and awarded by top organizations like this, and so many, and so on and so forth. Now, how do you get into open source contribution, right? You now understand what open source is. You understand the benefits of going into open source. You understand how it can help your career. Okay, yes, I'm ready. How do I get into open source? Now, the first one is you can be a contributor. There are two ways. The first one is to be a contributor. This is what I always advise a lot of people to go into, especially if you're just starting out. I want to advise you to do the second one, which I will amplify on later on. The first one is be a contributor. Just contribute to an existing project. Have an idea of what's already happening. Have an idea, if it's your first time coming to open source, have an idea of that field. Have an idea of the different types of projects. Have an idea of the project structures and things like that. Have an idea of creating guidelines, project guidelines, open source guidelines, licenses, and all of those things. And the different ways you can contribute to open source. You can contribute to open source via writing code. Now, remember, what you do in your 9 to 5 in tech doesn't determine what you do when contributing to open source. See open source as a new opportunity for you to start all over, start afresh, really. So you can choose to contribute via code. There's several code-related fields in tech that you can choose to contribute to. you can also just contribute through documentation. A lot of people tend to, lately we see a lot of people tend to go via the documentation route, and we're trying as much as possible to help people understand that when you're coming into open source, it's not just about code. So you don't need to learn how to write code to contribute to open source. There's so many interesting ways aside contributing via code. So documentation is another way. Documentation, you can help write the project documentation, you can help revamp it and things like that. Another one is product design. Yeah, if you're a designer, if you have design skills, you can definitely be a contributor in open source. You can help them update things like their brand guidelines. You can even help them update the design of the product and things like that. So use your design skills, use your design this thing to update everything that you're trying to do within that project. And then the last one, which many people do not know of right now, is that you can also contribute to open source via community building. Community building in the sense that, okay, I'm building communities, gathering or getting people together in open source, people who are interested in open source. That simple act alone, you're helping build a safe space for people who are interested in open source like you to come together, learn from each other. You're helping people network. And just by networking, you're also helping people brainstorm on ideas, project ideas, which will in turn help people become contributors. So basically, you're creating that platform for people to be able to say, oh, yes, I want to build my own project, or hey, I want to contribute to your own project. You're doing that. So community building is another way that you can contribute to open source. Now, via my role at Open Source Community Africa, I'm largely focused, because we're building communities for this open source contributors or lovers or creators to come together. I can say that, yes, I'm contributing to open source also through via community building. Now, okay, so before I move on to the next one is, I'm just going to give a very little tip. I think I said this earlier on. Be a practical contributor before delving into being a creator. This is one mistake that a lot of people make when they're coming to open source. Oh, open source, open source, open source. And then they're about to start creating their projects. They have very little idea of what it involves. Contributing or creating a project in open source involves quite a lot of things, well, not really a lot, but you have to have the knowledge of some things to be able to fully do that. Because just because it is free, there are things like legal guidelines, knowing the type of license you need to use and things like that. So if you don't have an idea of all these things, you don't have an idea of what an actual contributor would want to do, right? You get to make that mistake. So it's always advisable to be a practical contributor, be an active contributor before you choose or decide to go into creating an open source project, which brings me to the next one, right? Okay, I want to contribute to open source. You advise me to start contributing open source first of all. How? Okay, I thought I was mute, sorry. So I want to contribute to open source. You advise me to contribute to open source. How do okay, I need money. I mean, I'm contributing to open source, but is there a way that I can make money? Right? I've listed a few programs out there that you can gain your skills from, you can gain that exposure from, you can build your portfolio from, and then you can also make that money from. So this fall, the first one is Google Summer of Code. A lot of you might know this. Google Summer of Code has been running for a while now. It's been on for years now. You can access. I've put the links on my slide as well, so maybe you can just write them down. I'm pretty sure my slide will be available after the talk. So Google Summer of Code is mostly for tertiary students, as students who are in the university. You can participate in that, and it's strictly, unfortunately, this one is strictly focused on code aspects. Because, like I said earlier on, help amplify documentation as a way of contributing to open source code, Google decided to create what we call Google Season of Docs. Now, Google Season of Docs is solely focused on documentation, in the sense that it's not code, it's not design, it's not community building, it's really just documentation, just writing. So if you're really good at technical writing and you have some technical knowledge, it doesn't have to be amazing. Even being good at technical writing doesn't have to be subpar, it doesn't have to be amazing. You can apply to this, and it is not just for people in tertiary university. Sorry, tertiary institutions, right? Anyone from anywhere, even me, myself, who is already full-time working, I can choose to apply as long as I meet the criteria. You can access it from there. no knowledge of code needed for this. And another one is contributed by She Code Africa, my nonprofit. We just created this one, but solely for women in tech because we're trying to diversify the open source field in Africa. You get to contribute to it to amazing organizations. One thing about this open source programs is that they pair you with different running organizations, really top organizations. I get to work with them and contribute, and then literally have it on your profile that you contributed to some project via some organization. The same with contribution by She Code Africa, you also get paid for it. And then the last one is outreach as well. Outreach is also documentation focused as well. So you can look through all of this. Contribution is not solely documentation focused, it's also code focused as well. So you can look through all of this, maybe screenshot it and later make your research or any of that. Now, the next way to contribute to open source is to be a creator. Now, to be a creator, meaning you want to build projects, you're done contributing, you've gotten that experience, you understand some things, and now it's time for you to, you want to start building your own projects, you want to make an impact in your society. So I'm just going to give tips, because to be a creator in open source, it might take a lot more than the time that I am allotted on my session to explain. So I'm just going to give you tips on what to focus on or things to think about before you say you want to start contributing to, you want to create an open source project. So build projects that are focused on a valid problem or a cause. Look around you, because you're making it public, you definitely need the public to be able to use it. So is this something that they want to use? If you create an invalid project, something that people cannot use, and you're saying you're contributing to open source, you're really not helping the public. It's just there. Fine, it is open, the code is freely accessible to everyone, it matches the definition, but nobody's going to use it because they don't find it helpful. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want all the time that you spent building that project to go all wasted. So look for a problem around you, look for a cause around you, and focus on building solutions around that. But one thing is, don't kill yourself trying to build all of the solutions around that. You can call out for help, because it's open source. People will always be willing to work together with you on that, as long as the cost is valid or that solution is valid. Another thing is also social impact. Though social impact and creating projects focused on a valid problem is almost the same thing. Social impact could be, okay, I want to help do so and so, maybe help create more diversity through this program. How do I do that? And things like that. And another thing is that make sure, whatever you do, make sure that your project is freely accessible, because that's what makes open source. So make sure that it's freely accessible to the general public. It's something that you're willing to get feedback on. It's something that you're willing to see people work on it. You're not a person who is tight-hearted. When people are giving you feedback, you're squeezing your face. When people are trying to alter something, you're squeezing your face. That's really not what open source is about. Forget the fact that, yes, I'm making it public and all of that, but I'm not willing to get feedback. I'm not willing to iterate. You're really not meeting the purpose of understanding open source. So in summary, to wrap up my session, I'm just going to say one simple sentence. And as you can see, I put a screenshot of one of my star girls. I call her my star girl. That is Ikega Ruth. She recently started her in open source in July 2020, as you can see from that tweet. And this year she was awarded the first, I think late last year, but this year her award came in. Late last year, she was awarded the first female GitHub star from Nigeria, which is immense. Like, it's a lot. She has literally, I would say, broken the record, but there hasn't been any record before. So she has set the record as the first female GitHub star from Nigeria. So no matter what she does in any part of her career, once she mentions that she's recognized so and so by GitHub, that's like a lot. It already projects her to a different level. So in summary, what I'm going to say is that open source is very, very important, and it is pivotal to helping you accelerate your career in tech, because it's really just free. It's just that concept. It's just there. It's waiting for you to embrace it and say, yes, okay, I'm ready to use you to grow my career. I'm also ready to use it to help people. So while I'm helping people, I'm also growing my career. And it also gives you an edge over there. So thank you everyone for having me. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I will be here waiting for questions. Or if you feel free to ask your questions, you can also send me a DM on Twitter. I am at Kolokodas, and just let me know you're from this talk, and then we will connect and I can answer your questions. Thank you everyone.
Thank you very much, Ada. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the very insightful informations about open source, how we can contribute, how we can be better in everything we do. Thank you. We appreciate it. Please, if you have any question for Ada, we'll take 2 questions, just 2. Questions, ladies, questions. Questions going?
So I can see some questions on the the YouTube chat.
Okay.
How does one join an open source community? For Oscar, that's the community that I co-founded, Open Source Community Africa. You can go to our handle at OSC Africa, OSC Africa as a word, and there are different chapters, or you can just search for OSC and then the location they're trying to look for. Say, for example, Oscar Yaba, Oscar Kigali, Oscar Rwanda, and things like that. It's pretty easy. Or really just send us a DM there at Open Source Community Africa. That's OSC Africa. Please, as a front-end intermediate, where do I start from? Front-end intermediate, it really depends on what you're trying to do. It depends on what skill you're trying to gain by contributing to open source. So it's really up to you to determine if you want to go into technical writing or if you want to go to software development. And then if it is code you want to contribute with to open source, you can go to GitHub, just type look up open source project or Google up open source project. You see a lot of them. They're like really a lot of them. But before you start contributing, make sure that you read through their contributing guidelines and make sure that you're contributing using those guidelines, because some of you make that mistake of, oh, I've seen a project and then that's really it, I want to start contributing, and then they end up rejecting your PR. So make sure you read through their project documentation, this thing, contributing guideline, and follow their guidelines so that your contribution is accepted and you don't waste your time doing all of that. So since the host says 2 questions, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter and we can continue from there. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Ada. Thank you, everyone. Please, it's time for a photo session. Please, I would indulge everyone to put on their cameras. Let's see our beautiful faces and let's take a group picture. Thank you. Cameras up, ladies. We are waiting. Cameras up. Memuna, Happiness, Farida. Let's go, ladies. Martha, Ruth, Judith. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to see beautiful faces. So I'm crushing on Ada already. Maybe I will try and do better with my hair. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Okay, so is Lade here now? Lade, we are ready for you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lade.
Noon or morning or evening, wherever you're joining from. So I'm just going to share my screen. my screen? Can you guys see me?
Still coming up. Yes, we can see your screen.
So I'll be talking about how to build a career in tech. Right. So before I go into that, there are some of the things that I do. Right now, I am designing UX lead at 54 Jane. I also lead She Designs Africa, which is a community for women who want to enter into tech via design. I'm also a career coach and a podcaster and a writer, amongst many other things. So to go into the talk, before I talk about building a career in tech, what does it mean even to work in tech? Right? What does it mean when you say you work in tech? Is any you can answer in the chat or answer in the chat. Like, what does it if you answer? What does it mean when you say you work in tech? If anybody wants to type in the chat, and let me know their thoughts. Being skilled in tech. Okay, so what does tech mean? Like, what does it mean if you say you work in tech or I say I work in tech? What does it mean? I think for most people, when I've done this previously, most people, even when I talk to people randomly, they think that when you say you work in tech, you are a software developer or you write code, which is a question I get all the time. Like, oh, I want to work in tech. I have to learn how to code. What should I learn? How do I learn how to code? And all these things. But for me, this is how I think it means to work in tech. I think that if you contribute to the development of a product or you contribute to an organization that creates a digital product, a tech product, when you work in tech, think about it this way. If somebody who is, if I'm a lawyer and I work at Shell, what industry would you say I work in? You can type that in chat. If I'm a lawyer who works at Shell, what industry would you say I work in? Fatima says working in tech is doing computer related stuff. Yeah. So if I'm a lawyer who works at Shell, what industry do you think I work in? Anybody? Oil and gas. Judith says oil and gas. Exactly. Heather says oil. If I'm an HR person who works at GTB, what industry would you say I work in? Fatima says banking. Exactly. Judith also says banking. Right. So look at this. A lawyer who works at Shell is seen as somebody who works in oil and gas. A HR person who works at GTB is seen as somebody who works in banking and finance. Why is it's not any different for tech? So if you don't have to code to work in tech. That's what this example that I just gave is supposed to illustrate, right? You don't have to actually sit down and write code or even be a designer to work in tech. You can work in any role as long as you're contributing to an organization that creates a digital product or a tech product, or you contribute to development of such a product in any way, shape, or form. You work in tech, and this is how I think of it. So there are so many things you can do if you want to work in tech, whether you want to code, whether you don't want to code. And I typically try to not discourage people from coding because I think it's important to be open to experiences, to try new things. And this is something that I have done over the course of my career, and I will go more into that later. But if you want to learn how to code and work in tech, there's so many things that you can do. You can work as a systems administrator, you can work in robotics, cybersecurity, you can be a tech writer, you can be a tech manager, you can work in data science, you can do so many different kinds of things if you want to code and work in tech. And I'm sure that many of you are like familiar with some of the tools already. what if you don't want to code, right? There's also so many things you can do. Looking back at the example I already gave, you can be a lawyer that works for tech companies. You can be a HR admin person that works for tech companies. You can be a recruiter. You can be a lot of tech companies even are now like really interested in HR, and they have all sorts of fancy titles. That's another thing that happens. A lot of tech companies typically have more fancy titles or different titles from your typical finance or like or other kind of company. For example, some tech companies will call customer support product associates or customer onboarding specialists, and they will call HR people operations or people experience, right? So there's so many things you can do. Business analyst, writing, PR, design, marketing, comms, digital marketing, product marketing, very huge for tech companies because somebody has to buy whatever product they're selling or making, right? All companies need legal advice at some point, in some form, in some way. Companies need communications, whether internal or external. Companies need designers to do their products. They need salespeople, they need business dev people, they need financial, they need accountants and accounting people. So when it comes to thinking about working in tech, you need to open your mind to say, what are the possible things that I can do? And not just think about, oh, I have to learn how to code. Which is not to say you shouldn't learn how to code. Like, explore it, you might like it, but don't think that if you don't enjoy coding or if you don't want to code that you can't work in tech. So now that we've established what it is to work in tech and some various ways that you can work in tech, how do you build a career in tech? So this is a quote that I really like. It's not about who you know or what you know. It's about who knows you know what you know. So what this really means is, a lot of times you say, oh, you have to know things. Obviously, you have to know something before you can work in the space or do the thing. And then they'll say, oh, you also have to know people, right? But it doesn't, all these things don't matter. If you know everything about your work, you get the best writer, the best designer, the best lawyer in the whole world, and nobody knows this, then it's as good as you not being a good lawyer, because if nobody knows that you are good at what you do, then they can't hire you, they can't recommend it to people, they can't refer it to people. And this is kind of something that Ada touched on in her talk about how contributing to open source is a way for people to get to know what you can do and know you. So it's not necessarily only about what you know or who you know, it's also about other people knowing that you know what you know, and not just anybody. Like, you need to, like, the right people have to know that you know these things. That's why it's very important, and I'll go into this a bit more later. It's very important to talk about your work, to share your work, to share what you're learning, what you're doing, what you know with other people, and contribute in different ways. And I talked about contributing to open source projects. That's one way, right? So things that you can actually do step by step. You need to identify your skills and interests. And in the workshop earlier today, I caught some part of it, and there were things about like what your skills are. So you need to identify what skills you have, what things interest you. And it's never too early or too late to start. I've been working in tech. I was filling a form yesterday, and it made me realize that I've been working in tech for 7 years. I started out working in tech as a content writer, and then as a social media manager, and then I worked for a digital marketing company as a content writer, and I did content internships, and then I entered into UX. And that has spanned over 7 years, right? So you need to identify your skills and interests. What things do you like? What things do you enjoy doing? For example, if you don't like talking to people, if you prefer to be by yourself, it's not advisable to work in a customer support role or as a UX researcher, because you need to interact with people a lot. So you need to think about what things are you interested in doing, what things, even if you don't have the skill yet, what things are you considering as, oh, this is something that I might enjoy doing. You need to sit down and identify all those things and say, and then after that, you need to now identify organizations that you can work with or work at. So now you know that you want to, maybe you're a lawyer, you don't want to switch to product design or whatever, you want to remain a lawyer, you want to remain an accountant, you want to remain a salesperson. You can decide that you want to look at organizations around. And this is best with small startups because most of the time they probably aren't thinking about all these things. They're just trying to build their product and launch. So you can then identify those startups and reach out to them and say, oh, I'm somebody that does XYZ and I can help your business with this. That's one way to go about it. So identify the organizations you can work with. And then when you've done that, you need to learn about the industry. So tech is very wide. There's fintech, biotech, edutech, so many different tech stratas within the tech industry, right? So you need to learn about particularly those ones that you want to work in. So for example, crypto is very huge now. If you want to work with a crypto company, you need to learn about cryptocurrencies. And you need to learn about blockchain. And you need to learn about all those things. You need to fill the gaps between your skills and your interests and where you want to be. So that's why you need to take stock of what things do I actually know, what things can I do? And then from there, you now look at what things do I need to learn so that I can blend seamlessly into the space so that when I'm talking to people, I know what I'm talking about and I know where my skills and what I know and my knowledge can fit into this company and help them. Because if you don't understand what a company does, you can't really provide value to the company. So you want to read as much as you can, take courses, talk to people, go to meetups, online, offline. Now that offline meetups are starting to happen again, explore everywhere and meet people. And something very, very important is to be open to opportunities. A lot of people, when they start out in their career, they have this like fixed mind that this is the one thing I want to do and I'm not going to do anything else until I find in this. This can be helpful sometimes, like for some people, right? It's like very clear focus and everything. But sometimes it is good to branch out, take opportunities that come your way, say yes to opportunities that you fine, because you don't know how it will pan out for you. I talked about how I started out in tech as a content writer. I wasn't even considering a career in UX. I was studying psychology in Unilab, and I enjoyed going to the UX meetup I was attending, but I wasn't thinking about it as a career because I still wanted to go and do a PhD in psychology and be a therapist and all of that. But an opportunity came up at co-creation of which hosted the design meetup that I attended, and I took it because I was still in school. It was like, worst will happen is that I won't enjoy it. And then when I finish school, that'll be it, right? And so I just took it. And that has been what I've been doing for the past 4 years. And I've worked with a lot of organizations, even organizations that I didn't think I would work with anytime soon, right? I've worked with so many organizations that I like and I enjoy what I'm doing right now. And if in another few months, in next year, another opportunity comes that's totally unrelated to UX, and I feel like, oh, I want to explore this, I will take it as well and see where that will lead me to. So it's very, very important to explore. An easy entry point into tech is customer support or being an assistant. And this is because like in customer support, you are very engaged with customers and it helps with product building. And if you work as an assistant, especially to like a CEO or a startup founder, you have insight into how a startup works. You have insight into what the CEO does, what the startup founder does. You can work in so many different fields from there. You can go into products, you can go into people experience, product management, sales, biz dev, so many things. And this also goes back to identifying organizations you can work at. With the right upskilling, you can move from customer support assistant to various other kinds of roles. You can either work with a startup, like a small startup, because as they grow, there's more opportunities to expand. Or you can work with a large organization. I know personally from experience, I've seen people, companies like InterSwitch, for example, they allow you move internally. So when I joined, I worked at InterSwitch for a bit, and when I joined, there was somebody who started out as a receptionist at InterSwitch, and by the time I left, she was working on the comms team, right? So you don't have to, if you start out as a customer support rep or as a receptionist or as a executive assistant, it doesn't mean that you have to remain there. If you want to remain there, that's also fine, because that's like a career path. But if you want to move into other areas of tech, you can also move in there from there. Another thing to note about is that for you to do this well, you have to be very proactive. You can't just sit down in your customer support role or whatever other role. Even if you're a designer and you want to do something else, you can't just sit down there and be like, I'm just going to, if a role opens, I'll just apply. That's not how it works. You have to be proactive. You have to make it known that you want to make this switch. You have to make it known that you are interested in this thing, and you have to take the courses, upskill yourself to enable you take advantage of whatever new opportunities come your way. I said this recently related to what I just said, and a lot of people responded with their own experiences. If you see the first is from somebody who works at Coinbase, and he says that from his own experience, people who have moved from customer support to product management, sales, and everything. Ibukun and Teju, I know personally. Ibukun started out as an executive assistant, and now she has worked with Paystack, she has worked with Kuda Bank, and now she leads, she's a launch lead for PowerPay, which is a UK company that powers African payments. And she did all of this within 5 years. So it's not like something that because you start today, tomorrow, immediately, you will be in this amazing role. It takes time and learning and building yourself and developing yourself. Teju also, she started out as a business analyst. And then she went to work as an executive assistant to the CEO of Bitcoins. And from there, she became product manager, and then she's now head of growth at Bitcoins. And this is within 3 years. So this is just some examples of people I know personally and random successor of how you can grow in tech, how to build your career in tech by being open to opportunities. Because for Teju in particular, I had a conversation with her before this she joined Bitcoins about like what she wanted to do, and she wanted to that business, because moving from a business analyst, which is a kind of technical role, to an executive assistant role, which is not so technical, most people wouldn't want to do that. But because she made that switch, she was able to move to a position now, which is the head of growth at Bitcoins. So other tips of things you can do is that you need to create work. Contribute to open source projects like Ada talked about, work on a personal project, look for freelance work, volunteer with a non-profit, find something to do, collaborate with other people, go to hackathons, contribute in any way that you can to the space so that you can, it does two things for you. It allows you to show your work, and then it also allows you to practice what you're learning. As you're taking courses to upskill yourself, share about those things as well. Provide value to other people by contributing to the community, help other people. Sometimes it seems like, oh, I'm just learning this thing, I can't help someone else. But that's not true. If somebody is coming to ask you for help, it's because you know a little more than they do. Whatever little more that you know, you have to share that with other people as well. And I learned that from when I also worked at City Hub. Within my first few months there, they made me give a talk on UX research, and I had just started doing it. But there were other people who had never done it before that learned from that talk because I shared my little experience of what I had learned at that point. So it's important to provide value to other people. And that's also a way that in your whatever role you're in now, if you want to switch to another role, by providing value to other people in other roles, you're showing that you're open to those opportunities and that you can take on those challenges if you're given the goal to go into. It's not important. It's not enough to do great work. It's not enough to know what you can do. It's very, very important to also share with people. Share your work, share what you're learning, share what you've learned, share projects you've worked on, share everything, right? And then the last thing, which is very, very important, but a lot of people tend to forget, is to ask. There is so much power in asking. Like, tell people, I am looking for roles in this space. I want to switch to this point, because people can't recommend you for work if they don't know that you're looking for work in a particular field, especially if it's not a role that they already associate with you, right? So if your friend knows you as a writer and you say, oh, I'm doing UX now, if they don't know that you're doing UX design now, or you want to switch into UX design, and they know people who are hiring maybe entry-level or junior or intern designers, they cannot recommend you. And something that I've learned over the course of my career is that people like to work with people that they know. And by knowing you, they don't have to know you personally. They know you because, oh, a friend recommended you to them, or they read an article that you wrote, or they watched a talk that you gave. That's been like a way I've gotten so many opportunities. If somebody read something I wrote, or they attended the talk I gave, or something like that, or a friend of a friend referred me to somebody because they read an article that I wrote. Something. So it's very important. That's why it's very important to share. And then it's also important to ask, because if people don't know that you are actually looking for these opportunities, that you're actually looking for these roles, they can't recommend you and they cannot share those opportunities with you. Because sometimes opportunities are not posted publicly. It's always like within a small group of friends, and then somebody tells their friend that, oh, my company, we're hiring somebody, and then it's like, oh, I know a person that does that thing, and then that's it. That's actually how I got my role at InterSwitch. I didn't know InterSwitch was hiring. I had never even considered that I would work for InterSwitch before. And then somebody reached out to me and said, oh, somebody on our team attended the talk that you gave. I recommended you for this role. And that's how I had my interview. I worked at InterSwitch. And it's the same experience of when I worked with Google for a bit. Somebody referred me because they attended a workshop that I gave, right? So ask, and share. Visibility is the name of the game. Be visible by asking, be visible by sharing. And it goes back to providing value. You can't just always be asking, you also have to give and provide value to other people. That is the end of talk. I will be taking questions now.
All right, ladies. Who is excited? Visibility is the name of the game. Thank you so much, Lade. I don't know if you can hear me. Can anyone hear me?
Questions on YouTube. But if you have questions here, you can post in the chat.
Ladies, questions, please. Okay, Nade, how can we reach you?
Sorry?
In case anyone has a
I hear you.
question.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Not really.
Uh-oh. How about now?
Could you type your question? I think that would be better because I'm really struggling to hear.
Okay, how about now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you a bit.
Okay, great. So I just wanted to ask how anyone can reach out to you, maybe privately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can send me a DM on Twitter. My handle is Aditawa.
Okay, so ladies, reach out to her even if you don't want to ask questions here. Remember, visibility is the name of the game. Please don't keep to yourself, network, ask questions, be out there so that people can know what you can do and how they can help you. Thank you so much, Lade. Thank you. We appreciate your time. Thank you. So, ladies, I will still beg us one more time to on our cameras so we can have a very good group picture. Some of us missed the first one, so it would be nice to have another group picture. So please fire up. Fire up those cameras. Fire up those cameras. I love the beautiful smiles I'm seeing. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. You can turn off your cameras now. Thank you. So we have Kahoot, just a little game to cheer us up before we go for our breakout session. And Lade, Temilade, are you ready for us? Yes, Ruth, the slides will be shared after the event. Everyone will have access to it. Temilade, are you ready? Okay, she seems to be struggling with network. We're very sorry about that. So, okay, Okay, I think.
Hi, Motu. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Temilade.
Good afternoon. I hope you have been able to hear that Lade
Hello.
first. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sure. All right. So I'll just be sharing my screen. We'll be playing Kahoot. I think that you should also like share the link to the Zoom session with everybody so that they could share with their friends too that want to join before we start the game. You could drop the link on the chat, Motu. Thank you. Yes, I'll be sharing my screen now. Motu, kindly make me a co-host. Okay, I can share my screen. So can we all see my screen?
Yeah.
How do you intend to share the slide?
What have I done? What have I done? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can.
How do you intend to share the slide?
So is that a question for me? Someone said something.
The slide will be shared to everybody that registered, so that's no problem.
Yeah, you say you share the slide, ma.
Yeah, to everybody that registered.
Okay, via email.
Yeah, sure.
Through our email.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sorry, please hold on while I set
Very
this.
sorry about that. So, oh, sorry everyone. Temilade seems to be having network issues, but let's give her a few seconds. Maybe network will obey. Okay, I think she's back. Temilade, are you here now? Ooh. So before Temilade comes up, the breakout session will be for two parts. The first, one of the parts will be building faster web pages by Georgia, and the other one will be introduction to TensorFlow and AI design by Mercy Marcos. So I would share both links to the group, to the Zoom class or to the Zoom room. So you pick which one you want to attend. I'm sharing now. Hi, Messi. Are you here now? Hi, Georgia.
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm dropping one of the links now. This is one. This is the other one. Okay, Code Genius, I got your message. We'll work on that. But be rest assured you receive every information every other person receives. So ladies, please, everyone should confirm to me that you got the links I just shared for the breakout session. Okay, I should repeat. Oluwatosin. The first one is for Georgia, building faster web pages. And the second one is Introduction to TensorFlow and AI Designs by Mercy Marcus. Please let's join the rooms. If you have any question, please ask so we can fix you up immediately.
I don't think you specified which of the Zoom links is which group.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm working on that now so we can have a clearer picture of the rooms we are going into. Okay, Anastasia, just like I said, you receive the every information.
Has anyone been able to successfully join one of the rooms? It keeps telling me that something is invalid.
I'm so sorry about that. It just went off. I'm so sorry about that. So I'll just post the links again. The first one I'll post will go with Georgia. Can we Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. So the first link I'll post is for Georgia. Here, for Georgia, that's building faster web pages with Georgia. Then I'll post the second one for TensorFlow. Okay, so this is 10. So, okay, so we are good now, I guess. Please confirm you got the links I sent. The first one is building faster web pages. The second one is for TensorFlow. So Georgia, you're going with the first link I sent.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Blessing.
So I tried the link again that you shared, and it's saying this meeting link is invalid. So how do we join, please? Yeah,
Okay, just
I've tried 3 times already.
okay. Few more seconds, please. Okay, so network is giving me a little issue, but then can we do it this way? Please just type the name of the facilitator you want to go with, and then I will just assign you to the room. I think it's better that way, so we don't waste too much time. Let's go, ladies. Tracy is going for Georgia. Okay, Faye, I don't think I understand. Okay, I get that. Okay, so just give me a few minutes. You'll be assigned to each rooms. I'm so sorry about this. Network decided to shake things off a bit.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, I'm sure a lot of people are currently being assigned to their group. So just hang tight, you'll be assigned. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Hi, Maturnile. I think. Hi.
Hi, Georgia. Hi.
So which room am I supposed to join, or should I just start presenting?
Okay. I think, okay, let's just start presenting. Let's start with Georgia. Georgia, please go ahead.
I can just present from here.
Yes, please.
Oof.
Hi, so Rachel just enabled the option that can allow you join a breakout room. So you can just click on breakout rooms from your Zoom screen and then click join. So I think you can go to your room, Georgia, and start.
Which room is that? Where's the link?
So on my screen, I can see next to chat, I can see breakout rooms by the right. When you click breakout room, you can click join for the building faster web pages room. Can you see it?
I can't see. I can't see.
Messi, you can share your screen. So that
Okay, let me share my screen. So this is what I'm talking about. There's participants, new shares, chat, and then breakout rooms here. So when you click on breakout rooms, this thing pops up and then you can click join here or click join here.
Okay, so
yeah. So it might be different if you're on a mobile device.
I'm using a web. I'm using a web. So I don't know. Is that? Is mine different?
If you can't see it, maybe try refreshing your page. Like mine just appeared after Rachel sends the message to the group. Then she also said, check the top right part of your device. You'll see join room. Click on, okay, she said left. Click on whichever one you want to join and then join the breakout room. So I'm going to stop sharing now and then join my own room so I can start my session.
Okay, I wish I can see that.
Have you tried refreshing your page?
Yes.
Oh.
That video. So what I can see here is participants. Okay,
Share screen.
participants.
Chats.
I can see raise hand chat.
Then there's no breakout room.
I can see, okay, I can see mute, start video, participant, chat, share screen, record reaction. So
okay, Messi, do you have a breakout room or you're using this room?
I'm still using, like, I'm yet to join the breakout room because I feel like if I join the breakout room, I shouldn't be able to hear me anymore. So I guess I'm about to join mine right now. Anyways,
okay, just join.
Okay.
Okay, I cannot see that link. I don't know what should I do. Should I start presenting here or what should I do? Or view gallery speaker. Am I a speaker anyway? I don't know. Is there an option to add someone as a speaker? I can see so many people and I don't know. I don't know where to join. I can't see the button to join. What should I do? Hello, who is attending me? Is there anyone there who can hear me?
Hi, can you share your screen so that we'll see what you're looking
Yes, I
at?
can hear you.
So, okay.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Hi, Muturayo. Can you hear me? Hello. Can anybody hear me? So if you can actually hear me, on your screen, if you're on a mobile phone, there is this icon with breakout rooms. So on that symbol, you can click on it and you'll see the two breakout sections on your phone. I've actually tried it now, and it will redirect you to either of the rooms you want to join.
Hi, Onye, you are sharing your screen and I can see you accessing some private areas. Is it intentional?
This is Georgia. Georgia, can you hear me? Hi, Georgia.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So what, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your slide.
Okay. Sorry, like I had issues with my computer. Hi everyone. Thanks for waiting. My name is Georgia. I'm a software developer at Otex Technologies. I'm a GDG lead in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and the Women Tech Makers Dar es Salaam chapter as well. So today I'll be talking to you of making responsive websites, like responsive pages. My topic is mostly for beginners who are starting to build websites. So, like, what is responsive web designing? This is responsive web design is the act of designing one website that provides great user experience across multiple devices and screen sizes. Like we can have, you just create one website for like a desktop computer, your tablet, and your phone. Because as we go these days, we can have, like most users are using their mobile devices to access the website. So it's the best practice to create a website which can look nice and have a better user experience even on a mobile device. So this is what we call responsive web design. No matter in which device you put it, like with access it will look best. So just like this picture, how you can see this is how the website look on a desktop, on a tablet, and on a phone. The design is still consistent and the website looks nice. So why responsive web design? So the reasons why responsive web design is because it's easier to manage, like the search engine optimization. For those guys who are dealing with the business parts, like, oh, you want your website to be seen in the search engine, it's easier to manage one when you have one website. It's easier to manage than having like two websites which are working separate devices. So if you have just one device, just one website with one device which can work in different devices, it's easier to add it, to operate it and optimize it in the search engine. Also, there is one website to build and update. With responsive web design, you're just dealing with one website. You don't have to deal with multiple design because you just want it to fit in multiple devices. So when you have one website, you just go in that one same source code, you can build and update without working different websites. Also, it's time saving in terms of maintaining. Yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of time. Suppose you have to maintain a website for a desktop, you have to maintain a website for a tablet, you have to maintain a website for a mobile phone. You spend more time in maintaining all these three websites rather than just having one website which work across in all multiple devices. You just spend less time compared to maintaining three websites. The other thing is cost effective. It's obvious that maintaining three websites is cheaper compared to three websites of different devices. Also easier to maintain. Suppose you're working in a team, like someone else is working on a mobile device, website and someone else is working on desktop device. There will be a lot of communication between you guys to sync to make the design is perfect. So like that one is very hard. You have to communicate all the time. It's time consuming. It's hard. Like you have to make sure everything is sync. And just like we know developers, everyone think in a different way. We don't think the same. So if you just have one website which can work across platform, you just use one person to update all of them because you're just going to change the CSS and the HTML. Also, stronger online presence, since like most of people have mobile devices, like we mostly access the website and the mobile devices. So if you build a website which is responsive to all your devices, it will have a stronger online presence compared to when you build just a website which only works, let's say, on a desktop. Also, to increase conversion and lower bounce rate. When you talk about conversion and lower bounce rate, let's say you just build a website which is not responsive. Let's say just work on a desktop, and one of your user access your device, your website through a mobile phone. When they see the design is different or it looks ugly, they'll just bounce. They won't look at it again. So, but when you just build a responsive one, which works across all the devices, the users can switch multiple. They can just switch from a desktop, from a tablet, the same, as long as the design is consistent. There will be lower bounce rates. So let's talk about easy steps to make your website responsive. We have like setting up the viewport. These are some of the ways that you can make your website responsive. We have we can set up by setting up the viewport, the media queries, we have responsive images and typography. I'm going to talk about the first three. When we talk about setting up the viewport is where the website lands. Like, how do you talk about, when you talk about the viewport, you're talking about the screen of your device. Viewport, the port, like the handler of your page, the handler of your web page. So this is the meta tag. When you add it, to determine, it will help your website to be set, like to look nice and fixed. You add this one in your HTML code. I'll show an example like at the end of this presentation, like how we added this viewport in my dummy web page I've created. So this is an example of a website which has a viewport and the website which has no viewport. You can see without a viewport, it looks a bit odd, but if you add a viewport, it feels completely nice on our web page. And this looks, it's a mobile device. It's a mobile device. So I think you have seen the importance of adding the viewport in your HTML code. So we also do by using media query. Media queries are the most important aspect of responsive web design. They allow specific screen size and therefore adapt the display of a page based on the client desire. So with media query, these are helping you with these are HTML, CSS codes, which you will apply in your web page to make your web page to fit across multiple devices. I'll show an example. We'll see it later at the end of this presentation. So the screen sizes, by using media query, here we can see like we have different smartphones, how we can set different media queries for different screen sizes. So we can see here small screens with minimum width of 320 pixels. You can add your style here. How do you want your website to behave when you have a minimum width of 320 pixels and maximum width of 408. So in here within the CSS, you can add what do you want it to change? Is it the picture? Is it the head? Maybe it's the list? You can just add according to your preference. As well as there's so many, it depends with how your project is, or how many devices do you want to customize according to your web page. So these are just few examples of your CSS to customize the look and feel of your web page. So we also have to talk about responsive images. Responsive images are images that scale nicely to fit any browser size. So you can just put this CSS code in your CSS file. You just state like the maximum width is 100% and height is auto. When you just set this height is auto, when you go to your mobile, to any device, the image will shrink and expand according to the size of that device without being scattered. So we also have responsive HTML videos. The tag look the same. It's just like how we kept the image. You add this tag on your CSS file, depending on how you called your div. So it's the same. Maximum width 100, height auto. So the video will shrink and expand accordingly to the size, according to the size of of the device that is displaying that video. So the other question is, what's the difference between responsive and adaptive web design? Responsive layouts are fluid and will adapt the size of the user screen. Adaptive design uses distinct layouts for different screen sizes using CSS media queries. So with adaptive design, you have to create can someone mute, please? With adaptive design, you have to create multiple. Let's say you have 3 devices. You have a desktop, you have you have a desktop, you have a tablet, you have a phone. So with adaptive, you are creating specific, this design is for a tablet, this design is for a desktop, and this one is for a phone. But with responsive, you just use one design, you just play with your CSS. It's easier to deal with a responsive website and easier to maintain than how to deal with adaptive. Adaptive is more manual compared to responsive. So, having said that, I want to show some few examples, just a little, in the code side of how this thing was, how we can do this. Okay. Maybe before I proceed, if there is a question. Hello? Hello?
Please, do you have any questions, ladies? Any question, please just type it in the chat so that we can move ahead. Please go ahead, Georgia. Georgia, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. I want to share another screen. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. There's a question from Kelechi. She's asking which editor is the best.
It depends with how you, I don't know, we have different preferences. It depends with what works best for you. It depends with what works best for you. Like what do you, how best do you perform? You know, that's how I can say. There are so many editors, but it depends with how best, what works best for you. So this is my dynamic web page I was creating. It's not yet done, but I've just showed simple stuff you can do to implement the responsive web design. The first thing we talk is the meta tag, the viewport, where I say the viewport is the container that holds your web page. So if you don't add the viewport, you saw an example how the web page looked, it was funny. But if you add a viewport, the web page looks much better. So this is the viewport, and yeah, I've added like some latest query, which I won't talk about it now, like the Google Fonts. So I'll just let me show how the website looked like, just the web page on this. So this is my dummy web page. It was work in progress. So I want to show you like a simple example of how responsive website is, and how I'll show you like this is the implementation, and then I'll show this is like, yeah, then I'll show how it was implemented. So this the view you're seeing now, the view which is in front of you is the desktop view. So when it's the desktop, just pay attention to your lollipop shop. This text will change according to the screen size. So I'm starting to reduce. I want to kill this. So you can see the more I expand my viewport, the more I expand the screen size, the text changes. So right now, this is the view for the desktop. And when I decrease, now this is the view for the tablet. The more I decrease, the lollipop changes to red. One is the view, one is the media query. It queries the media query for the mobile phone. So when we go to the implementation, we'll come and see it here that I've created. I have my index file and I've created I've created different CSS for different devices. So for the desktop, this was H1, which was changing the color to silver. So I just said when the media query, I added the media query for the desktop, when the minimum width is like 1441 pixels, the color of the H1, the heading should change to silver, just like what you saw. And when it comes to a tablet, I say the color should turn to green. I'm just specifying, you can see the width of the tablet. And when it is the phone, I've said H1 should be red. So this is what you could see. This is what I was implementing. So this is how responsive you can change depending on your preference, depending on what you want to change according to the screen size. This is just a very small example. And also we can talk about the image. I talked about the image. I say the image they can be resized to fit the specific size of the screen when we talked about the media query. So you can see this image here on this website. If I turn into a desktop mode, the image is full. The more I shrink now I'm in a tablet mode, the image it's not destructive. It still look the same. It's still cooperating. The image is adaptive. So the more I decrease to a mobile screen, the image still looks the same. The image is still adaptive. So this implementation was done by adding this media query. This is my image. I don't know if everyone can see it. So this is the image here. No, this is not. This is the image I was talking about. So I'll go in my CSS. Oh, it's style already. So this is the image I'm talking about. So I'll go in my CSS and check for the div pic. And add this style, the height is auto, maximum width is 100. So automatically the image will behave the way you could see it. No matter what device, it won't change, or it won't be destructive. So there are so many examples you can explore in your project according to your project preference, according to how you want your website to behave in a specific device. These are just few I've tried to show you in practical. I don't know if there is any other question, and that is the end of my presentation. Are you guys there?
Okay, we still have time for questions. Please ask Georgia questions, ladies. Even if it's not part of what she presented, if you have a question, you have a project, or you have something you're working on, please ask Georgia. Still have little time before we go back to the main room. Questions? Okay, Georgia, you have questions on the chat.
It is, hi Georgia, can you share your slide? I was unable to see the code clearly. Yes, I will share the slides. Okay, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the code, or you want to see the slide? And if you can share your contacts too. So my contact is here. Let me write it here. On Twitter is Georgia Rochu. That's my Twitter handle. That's my Twitter handle. If you want my email, you can add georgiaretu@gmail.com. You just add at gmail.com. That's my Twitter handle. Someone wants to see the code. Okay.
Someone is asking, how do you know the size of the screen when using media queries?
They are specified. If you just Google, like, there are specific media, there are specific, like, there is a certain pixels. They're just, you can just Google. They are there, like, there is a number, a specific fixed. It's not fixed, like, for me, let's say from 1,000 and above is for desktop. Lower from this range to this is a tablet. From this to this is the mobile device. So they are just, you can just Google, they're just available. That's why you can see, that's the reason you'll never find a phone which is as big as the desktop, has that size. Or you'll never find a tablet with a small size as a phone. So there are specific width and height for that. You can just Google, they're just available. Someone want to see the code?
Yes.
Let me. Which part of the code do you want to see?
Aminat, which part of the code?
So this is the HTML side, and here are my CSS.
Hi, Georgia. Well, I'm asking if you can share the code, like the file. I still cannot see it very clearly.
Okay. How do I share it? Should I share it now here, or like in an email, or I should post them
Probably
somewhere?
through email.
Okay,
I'll drop
cool.
my email now. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Is there any other question? Okay, so how do we do it? I don't know if I'll catch all this email. My email is Georgia Rachel.
Okay, I'll get it across to you, Georgia.
Okay, so unfortunately I can't type. I don't know why. So, okay, is there any other question? Is there any other question?
I don't think so. So thank you very much, Georgia. We appreciate your time and thank you for sharing. I'm sure a lot of ladies will reach out to you pretty soon for more resources, guidance, and probably to collaborate with you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Georgia.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay. So thank you, ladies. Let's wait for the other group to finish and join us so we can just wrap it up. But then we have something to introduce to everyone. And Temilade, are you here now?
Yes, sure, Motoraya, I'm here.
Okay, please.
Hi guys, good afternoon once again, and sorry for the other time. I had network issues, but now straight to the point. A number of you are presently on this call, and you've been hearing WTM. Maybe your friend sent you the link. You don't even know what WTM is about, and you're wondering, how do I join this amazing organization? So I'll just be taking us through I'll share my screen now just to show us what WTM is about, how you can become a member, and how you can continue to participate in some of our events, programs, and activities from now till forever. So yeah, I'll do that in some seconds. Yeah, I believe you can see my screen now. So yes, this is WTM means Women Tech Makers, and it's one of the. So can you hear me? I believe we can.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sure. WTM means Women Tech Makers, and is one of the programs that Google has. And the aim of the Women Tech Makers is to build a world where all women can thrive, because Google is very particular about helping to bridge the gender gap. That's why we have WTM. So for those who would love to know more about WTM, while we wait for other guys in the breakout room to join us, other ladies to join us, you could check the womentechmakers.com. So when this you see the about us, the aim is just to provide visibility so that we know that we can see more women in tech. Community, for example, when we talk about community on this call, we have a number of persons from different WTM community, women tech makers community. We have women tech makers Bauchi, we have women tech makers Ibadan, we have Akoka, we have Lafia. So whatever city you are in or whatever state you are in, anywhere in the world, there is most likely a women tech makers community in wherever you live. So when you are joining the membership, when you are applying to be a member of WTM, you'll be asked what city or location you are in, so that you'll be assigned to your community and be able to participate and have events and programs that your community takes part in. And also resources. When you subscribe to be a member at Women Tech Makers, on a regular basis, you'll be getting mails on events to attend, programs to attend, courses you can take, and a number of other amazing resources that will help you grow as a woman in tech. So it would be of good benefit to you if you could join WTM and become one of the members. You can also become an ambassador. If, for example, the city you are located in, you don't have a WTM association there, you could start that by becoming like an ambassador for your own city. Or if your city already has ambassadors, you can become a member such that you can begin to participate actively and also grow along the line. I'm talking about impact. WTM has been since 2014, and every year they bring about thousands of women into technology through events and leadership programs. And so far, we have 87 advocates. So far, since 2014, WTM Women Tech Makers, all over the world generally, we've had 245 events. We have 325 communities. That means in different cities around the world, we have 325. Then we have over 70,000 members. And here are some of the stories that people who are members of the community have shared. I would not love to take too much of our time, so I'll just advise go to womentechmakers.com to read more about Women Tech Makers. Now, to become a member, you just have to come to this part of I hope you can see my screen, this part that reads members. So that's where you can apply to become a member. Then it tells you what some of the things you gain by being a member, because it provides you access to created resources and events. Just like I said, for me, almost every week I receive a mail from Women Tech Makers. The mail includes resources and links to amazing resources and programs or events that I can attend. Most of the events are done by Google, and then I get updated information about Google and some of the things that happen in the women tech space. So you also get information and tools from Google, from the partners of Google and global tech companies. So this is how you become a member. You just click on this link, then you fill out. Sorry, my screen is loading. I guess my network. Oh, okay. Can you see this? There's some maintenance that has been ongoing at the moment. So we have to come back May. By this time next week, I'm pretty sure that by this time next week, you'll be able to access the platform to become a member. Some of the benefit of you becoming a member, like I said, created content, you get regular emails. Oh, I like that they even use my word, regular emails. Because for me, almost every week, I get regular emails from Google Women Tech Makers tailored to your interests. While you are registering, you'll be asked, what are you interested in? Are you interested in product design? Are you interested in data science? Are you interested in machine learning? Are you interested in web development? You'll be asked a series of questions, and so you fill in what you're interested in, so that tailored content. So if you're interested in data science, you won't be getting something about UI UX, tailored content in the sense that what you're interested in, that's what will be sent to your email on a regular basis. So things that will help you succeed and thrive in your tech career. Then on a regular basis, you also get things about they feature women. Women who are members of WTM, Women Tech Makers, and they've done amazing things. Women from Google and the global tech ecosystem. Then aside that, you get early access. What do I mean by early access? You get early access to information, to special announcements, to upcoming events, to scholarship, to grants. You'll be one of the first persons to hear it before it is being kept on social media, because you are a member. It will be sent your email first. Then, of course, community. For me, this is the most important part for me. When I started learning how to code, when I joined WTM Ibadan, that's Women Tech Makers Ibadan, I attended one of their events, and I became a member of the community. And moving forward, I've participated in a number of things, and I'm presently an ambassador of Women Tech Makers Ibadan. So join the community. There's a lot that can be done. Wherever city you are located, look for the Women Tech Makers city in your the women tech makers community in your city and join them. So yes, I guess a number of persons are back now. So let's just like, let me just stop here. But just to reiterate, go to womentechmakers.com/members to become a member of Women Tech Makers. We need more of you on board. We want every woman to be a part of this amazing opportunity. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I think it's time for us to like take another group picture before we play Kahoot. So Mutraya would facilitate taking of the group picture.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Temilade. Ladies, you already know how we do it. So put on your cameras. Let's have those beautiful smiles one more time so that I can tell people that I know some beautiful ladies out there. You know, please don't be shy. Put on your cameras. Let's just have one more group picture and I'll be out of your faces. Thank you. Hi, Blessing. Hi, Murayo. Hi, Joy. Sumaya, hi. Rhoda, hi. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, ladies. Just give me that smile. Let's have beautiful pictures. Okay, great. Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate you all. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We are so grateful. Thank you very much.
Muto, can we go on to the game session?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right. Sorry guys about the other time. Hopefully, hopefully this time nothing happened. So yeah, we'll be playing Kahoot. We've had a number of sessions, both the practical and the part where we listen to people. So want to like just like freshen up, just play a little game and have some fun. So it's just going to be like 10 questions. I'll be sharing my screen again so that we can kick this off. Okay, yeah, I believe we can see my screen now. So yes, I believe a number of us are used to like playing Kahoot, so we are not new to this. So just join at www.kahoot.it game, then we're going to start. So ladies, I'm waiting for you. www.kahoot.it. Then use this pin to, okay, I can see Komi J. Okay, Komi J, welcome. I need like up to 20%, so I'll make this very interesting. Ladies, I'm waiting, www.kahoot.it. AJ, welcome. Then use this pin. Then we are good to start. Let's have some fun. I love to have fun. There's AJ, there's JA. Okay, interesting. How come everybody has a name that has J? There's Komi J, there's AJ, there's JA. Cool. Bring it on, ladies. I'm waiting. Is it just 3 persons that will join? There's M. Use your full name now. Why are we using acronyms? Or okay, ladies. Okay, if you have up to 10 persons, then we can start. We have Catherine. Django. I'm scared of this Django person. for you to have used a name that is like a programming language, then oh my god. Okay, ladies, we have 5. Let's make it up to 10, then we can like start. Mercy, thank you. Peshi, 3 more persons to go, then we start. Joey, thank you. Royal Lady, 1 more person. So, perfect. Oh my God, thank you, ladies. So we will just start. I don't want to take too much of our time. So yeah, you see the question. Then sorry about this. This is like a mistake from my hand. You see the question. Then yes, we are good to go. I hope you can all see the question. I hope you can see the question. Sorry, can someone just talk? So I'm sure we can see the question. Okay, 6 persons have answered.
Yes, we can see the question.
Oh, thank you. I have 30 seconds. 13 persons have answered. 3, 2, 1, boom. 6 persons got it right. Okay. Cool. JA. Okay. Next question is coming. The names listed below are the real character of Hidden Figures, except if you've not watched Hidden Figures, after this Kahoot, please, ladies, let's go and watch this. You'll be inspired and encouraged to do more. So yeah, less than 15 seconds to go. Let's know those that watch movies and those that pay attention when they watch movies. Oh, 3 persons got it right. We already know, we know those that watch movies and those that don't. Okay, let's move on. Wow, what happened? The score didn't change. What year was WWW founded? Let's not Google, though. Let's not Google search the answer. Just type. It's just like, let's just have fun. That's just what we're having. We're having fun and learning, not just having fun. We want to learn too. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. 6 persons got it right. Wow, Django. Guys, I told you initially, this person called Django. I'm scared of the person. Okay, let's see if Django stays as one of the top 4 and AJ, Komiji, and Okoda. What's the meaning of WTM? Everybody must get this. Whosoever does not get this, because we've mentioned WTM a number of times, more than 10 times since we started this program some hours ago. So everybody, I expect everybody to get this, like a cheap question. Everybody should get this. 10 answers. We have the remaining 3 or 5 persons to like answer the question. 3, 2, 1. Yay! Everybody got it. I was scared. Everybody got this. Cool. Let's go next. Okay, Django is still on the leaderboard. We have 6 more questions to go. What is Google's slogan? Google's slogan. Google, I want to work at Google. I want to work at Google. If you have been interviewed this is last question during the interview stage. What is Google's slogan? Let's know those who have been doing thorough research about Google. We use Google to like search a number of things. What is Google's slogan? Okay. Wow. Only one person got it. How interesting. Oh my God. Okay, this card didn't change. Okay, the one person that got it was most likely not on the leaderboard before. What's the campaign theme for this year's WTM IWD? Let's know those that have been paying attention to today's session, as well as all the flyers that we have been sending, because the theme is on the flyer if you've been paying attention. Okay, less than 15 seconds to go. Okay. Wow. One person missed it. 13 persons got it. All right. Django, what's happening? AJ is back as one of the top persons on the leaderboard. Okay, we go next. What's the meaning of GDG? Okay, 11 persons got this right. By the way, just in case you don't know, GDG is also a part of Google. GDG is the general community for Google Developers Group. Then under GDG, we now have WTM for women who are part of GDG and women who are maybe not part of GDG but are interested in being a part of women making change in tech and advancing in tech. So GDG is Google Developers Group. It's also a community in Google. Okay. Wow, where's Django? Oh my God, I was rooting for Django before. Wow, I was really rooting for Django. Okay, 2 more questions to go, or 3 more questions to go. IWD is annually celebrated when? This is a tricky question. Let me see those who will fall for this trick. Let me see those who will fall for this trick. Tricky question. Let's see those who will fall for this trick. 1, 0. Oh, I knew a number of persons were going to choose me first, but I'm glad that like most of us chose March 8th. International Women's Day to celebrate all the women in the world is actually March 8th. So yes, please note that just in case you don't know, we are all women, which you know the day we are being celebrated. It's not like I'm asking when is your birthday? I'm like, I don't know my birthday. No. So you're a woman and every woman is being celebrated. We celebrate women every day, but the specific date that has been chosen on the calendar worldwide to celebrate women is March 8th every year. Wow, Komi J, interesting. Django, I was rooting for you. Komi J is back with an answer streak of 3. Wow. Okay. 2 more questions to go. Today's workshop, Reframing the Narrative. This is where we'll catch those that come for events late, because the workshop, Reframing the Narrative, was one of the, I think that was the second thing we had after we had the keynotes. Then we had Reframing the Narrative workshop by Heather. So and when she started the slide, she showed us who crafted the workshop she was using. So let's know those who are going to get this right or wrong. Those who have been paying attention. And persons who fall for this. Yeah, Right Speak and Code is an organization that helped craft the workshop Reframing the Narrative. Yeah. Wow, Komi J is still standing strong. Okay. By the way, the top 2 persons, these are paying attention, should be able to get these. So the top 2 are winners, like top 3 winners who drop their phone numbers. So we have a gift, a special gift for the top 3 winners of this game. I hope we're having fun so far. 15 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh my God, 9 persons got it wrong. I'm pretty sure the 2 persons that didn't get it were not paying attention when the session was being held. It was held by Ada. She was held by Ada some hours ago. Yeah, she was the lady with the amazing gele, the woman with the amazing gele that taught us advancing your career with open source. Okay, when I press next, I'm going to see our top 3 winners. I wish I can play that song. Stand up for the champion, stand up. Mercy came 3rd. Then we have Joey 2nd. Please, guys, you have to prove to us that Komi J, you have to prove to us that. So take a screenshot of your name on the then send us your phone number. Drop that on the chat box. Please take a screenshot to prove that you are Komi J, to prove that you are Joey, to prove that you are Mercy. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sure we had an amazing session playing this game. I had so much fun. I loved. It was interesting seeing some of the ladies fall for some little traps that were set. But I think for us, the most important thing is things we will learn. We now know what WWW when it was founded. We know what WTM means. We know what GDG means. We know who and women in hidden figures. And of course, like I said, if you know what hidden figures, please go and watch it again. And it's just for us to learn as we are playing the game. So I'm sure that a number of us learned new things. You know that March 8th is the day that women are being celebrated. So yes, I hand over to Rachel. she'll be the one to like give the closing remark. It's been fun so far. Thank you guys for being very cooperative and very attentive. Thank you, ladies. Rachel, you have the floor.
Sorry, before Rachel comes up, thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone. Please, the winners, can we have your phone numbers right now in the chat section, please? Thank you, Rachel. Please. Your turn. Komije, did you win the first? Are you the first person?
Yes, Komije came first.
Okay.
Then we have second as sorry, let me just, I just want to be sure. I'm sure Komije came first. Then the second was Joy, Jhoie. Then third was Mercy.
Okay, please, let's have your phone numbers.
I'm so sorry, I logged out. Hi.
Hi, Rachel is here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session. I'm especially excited about how much fun we had. I mean, that was some fire-ass sessions. Thank you so much, Motunrayo, for anchoring the whole session. Thank you, Temilade, for supporting. Thank you so much to every lady who took out time to attend this session. I mean, today is Saturday. We're supposed to be at Owambe, but you all showed up, which is really amazing. I am very grateful for you showing up. You have gotten all of these tricks, you have gotten all of these tips from these amazing speakers. Go out, have the courage to create, have the courage to build, have the courage to do more, have the courage to write more code, have the courage to build more programs, have the courage to be awesome, do as much as you want to do. Like I said earlier in the keynote session, every single person on this call is rooting for you. Every single person on this call is counting on you to do more, to be more. Thank you so much, ladies. I am very grateful. I honestly can't say how much me and my team who came up with this session, and also every Women Techmakers ambassador for Nigeria who put in time to organize this event, to organize this summit. Like, we started organizing since February. So it may not be awesome, but I mean, this was really amazing. So thank you so much, everyone. We will send you a survey, feedback survey, or immediately after the session, you will definitely get it in your email. Please let us know how we can do more. Help us, let us know how we can do better. We would have subsequent sessions that we would invite you for, and we really hope that you will join us for them. Thank you so much, everyone. It was really great doing this. You guys are awesome. You ladies are the best. You ladies are awesome. Go out there, do more. 2021 is your year. Please just be amazing. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye. Joy Victor, can I have your phone number if you're still here?
Okay. Nope, the meeting has ended. Where's your money? Meeting has ended. I can't see anyone.
I'm still here, Joy. I'm here.
I can't see any. Oh, geez, talking to myself.
I can hear you, Joy.
Oh, okay. I can't see any. Like, I can't see the chat bot or anything. Can
Okay,
I just call
your phone number? Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So it's 090.
Okay.
83. 101. 304.
You came second?
Yes.
Okay, 090-831.
Yes.
01304.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.